Doubt. Learning how to mother was like purchasing a $2 puzzle from the thrift shop, in a bread bag, with a twist tie, no box picture, and no idea if all the pieces were included. I got what I needed from the world in a hodgepodge way because I was trying to fill gaps on my own as a kid, then as an adult. Even the memories I do have feel atrocious. They feel scattered, piecemeal. Trauma overwrites memory. Your memory glitches when you are just trying to survive. Memory struggles when you are abused. When my brain should have been putting memories into back storage for later use or simply scrapbooking them, it was focused on the problem in front of me: survival. I refer to my years from 15 to 19 as my independent college years. When you raise yourself, you constantly doubt yourself. The constant doubt is a steady companion, hand in hand with your fearless teenage self-confidence. The biggest doubt I have: if I'm mothering correctly. Motherhood is wrought with expectations and perceptions. Sit down and try to make a list of what a good mother is. It's practically impossible. Most of the information is contradictory. When my son was little, there were monsters in his closet. When he told me this, I could feel my brain scanning for solutions to this parenting problem. I did not want to placate or use evidence to prove him wrong. These monsters were real to him. I did my best, left the closet light on, and went downstairs to clean the kitchen. He was down in the kitchen in 15 minutes saying he couldn't sleep. I squatted to his level and said, "Listen, this is scary. I believe you, and I think the fact that you have monsters in your closet is crap. But adults can't see them, so hands child a spatula. This is your monster slapper. Keep it with you. When they come out of the closet, just slap the shit out of them with this, okay?" At the moment, I believed this would be his opening line for therapy. I had monsters in my closet and my mother handed me a spatula. I felt everything I was doing with my kids was potentially, probably, likely wrong. My glasses of perception shaded everything as wrong. I wish I could go back and see that I was doing it. He slept with that spatula for weeks. Later, he returned it to me, confidently saying, "Those monsters never came back because they knew I was ready for them and they didn't want to mess with me." This felt like a workaround win. It wasn't how it should have been done, but I managed a good outcome despite fumbling in the dark. I thought long and hard about whether I could live with my own children telling me they couldn't have me in their life, that my mother's words would come true. "I hope your children treat you how you treated me." I got really comfortable with the idea that this could be a generational loop. In fact, all data pointed to that being the more likely outcome. I accepted head-on that this fear was 100% valid. Eventually, my kids would hate me, never speak to me, and think I did all the wrong things. When you accept that fully, I will say, it does make you a bit fearless. It is a pinch of doubt that I toss over my shoulder every day for luck. My daughter and I were arguing about which one of us was more scared of spiders. We'd just seen an enormous one. My daughter is tough, like an old lady who's already lived a long, full life tough. She'd recently decided that my brother was a worthy opponent in her flippant, sometimes brutally hurtful, swear-sassing game. He can easily be in that space with her. I cannot. And recently clarified he was the big bitch and she would now be known as the little bitch. I'd love for her to be a little less epic, but in the same vein, I want this side of her to be on the ready if someone treats her like shit. I also really, really, really don't want to silence her. She argued that I don't act super scared of spiders, therefore she is more scared. I said, that's just because I'm not a bitch baby. She is notorious for some real zingers at home, so I clarified I didn't call her a bitch baby. I just implied it, which certainly gave her the perspective of how words can be hurtful. The only thing that puts this child in check is giving her a taste of her own medicine. It made her feel how she makes others feel when she wields those sharp words she loves. When my children need to be put in check, The most effective strategy is to give them back a taste of what they're doing so they can put themselves in check along their own lines of who they want to be. I wonder if the guy that got out of his car at the post office to hear me call my daughter a bitch baby has already filed a complaint with CPS or is still debating it. If your goal is to always appear like a good parent, you're probably playing to an audience. When you forge your own path, people will naturally judge you for that. Let them. Let me repeat that. When you forge your own path, people will naturally judge you for that. Let them. Do I wonder if she'll, in her powerful 35-year-old self, yell at me from across a holiday dinner table and stomp out of the house forever for calling her a bitch baby at 11? Absolutely. I was building this parenting journey every day. If something didn't work, I would immediately scrap it. If something seemed to work, I would replace my sketchy scaffolding with more solid scaffolding. I was still scaffolding a structure I couldn't grasp the shape or height of. I never felt like I was building something. I always felt like I was edging around something. If you ask me today, me looking around the room, I will say, whispering, I'm still figuring out how to mother. I do feel like a good mother, but I will always feel on the edge of fucking it up. I know the prospect of that happening is increasingly smaller, but it's still there. It would be strange if I felt confident that it was impossible to end up with kids who may not talk to me as adults. Do not parent out of fear.